Abgeschnitten. I don't think I've said that right. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but there is, strangely, there is no English name. Now that I found it, none that I found for this, and therefore, I don't even know. I don't even know what this means. It's easy to find, of course. You put it in Google and it translates, but um, the film had anyway a local Romanian title, which I forgot, but I'm again pretty sure it's not really. It's an adaptation. That's how it works here. It's not whatever follow the light of Alcatraz. This means in German. The Germans have a complex, sophisticated, philosophical language. Das ewig weibliche. They, with this Faust ends, and as far as I can remember, it had at least here a translation which was quite long. The eternal feminine that will take you to the Vzduch, to the celestial bodies. And anyway, let me come back because this is a long film. Perhaps that's one little problem there, that it is a bit too long, I'm thinking. Otherwise, let's emphasize the positive. It is interesting, it is captivating, it is complex, it is serious. German, solid performances. Mr. Moritz Bleibtreu, again I can't say his name, but the actor in the title leading role, that of Paul Hertzfeld, coroner, is wonderful. I've seen him in quite a few very good German movies, so the performances are, I'm thinking, near perfect. One might hesitate, and not because the actors are not absolute professionals. I mean, Germans, when they do something, they do it right. The sadists in the movie do it with dedication, so to say. Termina. But the problem is, the script is too Hollywood-like, in my view. This might be a tendency which I would regret. I mean, we don't have Fitzcarraldo, we don't have Aguirre, the Wrath of God, Fassbinder anymore. We have melodramas with, as I said, with flavors from the American West Coast. I'm afraid. I've seen recently another one, Don't Get Out, something, German trapped in his car, and that was to an extreme. This though is a crime horror movie, which is much more decent. I mean, it's even good, we could say. It could have been much better with a shorter lifespan. I mean, without over 2 hours length, it has. And it's also difficult to say this is really bad, because you have to distinguish, you have to bring in new elements, and then pushing the envelope will get you here, I'm afraid. I mean, a fine balance between new, creative, diverse elements which are brought and separate the film from others, and then it becomes too eclectic, too much. Put too much, too many flavors. If you put chili, you put sugars, you put pineapple, and you don't have something exotic and tasty. You have hodgepodge. Otherwise, the idea is interesting. You have a coroner the hero, who's a bully. We have him in court, sort of. Oh no, it's maybe a private arbitrage, or he's being violent to a man who kicked a dog. So that was a vicious guy. But then he got teeth out, or from our hero, sometimes anti-hero. So he's performing an autopsy, and he sees that inside there's a message for him in the head of the woman who was we find not brutally killed, but in fact it was a suicide. But the body was mutilated after death, and inside there's a phone number. His daughter is trapped somewhere, and he has to follow this bizarre, sick path of deaths and details to try and save her. And we've been on this road before, but here there are, as I said, strange. And a woman, Linda, in the film, has to perform an autopsy guided by our man from a distance, because he doesn't have time. There's not enough time for him to be on this island to save the girl. There's another young woman who has to follow his lead. She doesn't want to. I mean, it's hard to understand how she could in the end. Well, it's the life of another human being at stake, and then we like to think that we would do the same if placed in a situation. But anyway, good film.